In the late 2090s, in a town called Alexandria, a baby was born. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong baby. This baby. Contrary to popular belief, he wasn't white. He was actually a black person. He was referred to as the Black Dwarf. Anyways, a powerful man from what was at the time a small town. His name was Athanasius, whose name is the Greek word for immortal. His family was nice and Christian. His family had morals, which is probably foreign to most people. He grew up with a fancy education, which meant that he was extremely smart. He was extremely successful in school, getting a degree in theology and philosophy. He was even a deacon by his early 20s. His biggest influence was the Christian education and good upbringing. It wasn't long before he became secretary to Bishop Alexander. He was also a deacon at this time. Although it wasn't long until he overtook Bishop Alexander because he was a very vocal person and spoke his mind just a little bit too much for his own good. As bishop, he went to Upper Egypt to talk to the monks, building a relationship with their leader. This was about the time when he was challenged by the Arians and had to fight against Arianism, which was very long-lasting. He fought against them by trying to change them, although when they didn't listen, he used his political influence to turn the people against them. Athanasius fought against Arianism in basically every way that he knew how. Athanasius fought against the imperialist church, the Arians, that was about to overtake Egypt. He used his political influence to turn the people against Arians, which the people didn't really like. This spread rumors about him mistreating them by using something that he has that they don't have to bully them. He denied all accusations against his mistreatment of the Arians. And soon, there was a gathering of bishops grouped together at a town called Tyre, which turned violent. Athanasius denied that these bishops were a part of the council of his church, although they did not believe him. This got the attention of Emperor Constantine. The emperor told the leaders of both parties to meet him at the city of Constantinople. The emperor took a liking to the Arians and falsely accused Athanasius of threatening the grain supply. The emperor was able to exile him from his town without any kind of legitimate or formal trial. Athanasius had to let go of his position as bishop and was exiled to the town of Rhineland, which is way up in modern-day Germany. This was when his ministry truly began. He was no longer in power, nor was he credible, although he didn't let it get to him. Although Emperor Constantine died only a year after he was exiled. This allowed him to return to his hometown of Alexandria, although this happy ending was very short-lived. Constantine's son came to power only 1 year later. His name was Constantius, or so I'm hearing from www.ican'tpronouncethisword.com. Anyways, taking his dead father's place, as many would know, the apple does not fall far from the tree, he re-banished Athanasius. Although Constans, the brother of Constantius, helped Athanasius and kept him safe in Rome. Meanwhile, in Alexandria, the Arians have taken over, and now there's an Arian bishop in his town. He kept in touch with friends through annual letters, and the locals wrote an official appeal for Athanasius to come back in 343 AD. Constans saw this, or rather heard it, and decided he would help Athanasius by using his political influence to get him back into the town. This worked. In 346 AD, he was back in his hometown of Alexandria. He was welcomed home as a local hero. This was preceded by the Golden Decade of Peace. Athanasius wrote an apology letter towards the Arians during this time, mainly for using his political influence to attack them, so to say. Constans died in 350 AD, leading to a civil war. Constantius, with his bigger brother gone, decided that he would bring charges towards Athanasius. He was banished from his hometown for a third time. In 356 AD, he was attempted to be arrested. He was getting kind of sick of it, so he left and went to Upper Egypt. The monks he used to be good friends with welcomed him with open arms and even protected him. He wrote a very popular book about the 4 orations against the Arians and defended his stance against the emperor. Meanwhile, the emperor was being a crybaby, throwing tantrums like a 4-year-old, talking about how he's being persecuted and writing official reports of just how bad Athanasius was, which simply just wasn't true. And many people didn't fall for it. Some people even started to believe that he was the precursor of the Antichrist. Constantius died in 361 AD, which meant he could return to Alexandria once again. In 362 AD, he decided to write a book called Synod of Alexandria, during which he appealed for the unity of people. This was the rising of the Orthodox Church. A new emperor came to power named Julian the Apostolate, who just so happens to have a passion for disliking Athanasius. He was exiled again. He went up to the Nile River north until that emperor died. He came back. New emperor comes to power named Valens. He also disliked Athanasius. He was exiled again, although he only moved to the outskirts of Alexandria. Local authorities / his friends begged the emperor to reconsider. He had a few years of peace in his hometown of Alexandria until he died in 373 AD.